Hey y'all! So this is a super quick little tutorial that is just for like those of you who have made your spiders, however you're gonna make them. You know, you don't have to follow the ways that I've done it. But if you're doing like where you twist all the leg wires together and then you wrap that twist around the body, sometimes I don't love that you can see where the wires cross over or where the bugle beads go into it. You know, maybe that's being like super, picky about it. But for me, I just like when it looks a little bit more, I'm going to say natural, which these don't look anything like real spiders. So, take that with a grain of salt. But anyway, it's this little bead right in the center. So I just made the spider like normal. And then I've added this little bead to the center, almost like it's floating, to cover up where the wires wrap. And it just looks kind of nice, with the other stuff. So that little guy, quick tutorial on how to add that. Hopefully you enjoy it. Bye. Okay, so I've got a spider that I don't love the center of there. I've got 26 gauge wire, which I almost use like you would thread. It's so thin that I really think of it like I would like sewing a little something into something. I wouldn't hang anything from it because, it just doesn't seem that strong. So, and then I've got two 4mm purple bicones. They're the same ones I used in the spider. A lot of times what I put in the center will be one of the beads that was also on the legs, but sometimes different. Like, don't limit yourself. Typically I would do this before I put the bottom crystal and the chain on, but that's just not how we did it this time. So we'll just work around it. So I'm going to get some wire, probably way too much. I don't know, maybe 5 inches or so, about the length of the spider. We're not going to need very much, but you need enough to work with, and to get around the body and the legs, a little extra wire is going to be your friend. So I'm going to start by folding it in half and looping it around the head or the butt. It doesn't really matter where you start. And then a big thing I'm going to try to do is make sure it comes all the way through. See how it's caught on that leg right there? Let's pull that a little bit more. There we go. There we go. So I want it to be pretty much invisible. I don't want to see it beyond the bead it's going to hold. Now I'm going to cross the wires and then take both and feed one bead through. And it is hard with these tiny beads to get both wires through, but it's 26 gauge wire. It's pretty darn thin. And then I'm gonna take the right to the left to the right, and then go right around the head. Same thing, making sure it's very tight, very close to the head, not caught up on the legs. But this is the look that we're going for. So you see how that covers up everything in the center really nicely. And sometimes you got to straighten it out. Okay, so I pulled as tight as I can. These wires are very, very close. And I end up wrapping it one more time around before I do the second one. Do I think that's totally necessary? No, not really. But, sometimes you just do those little security things just in case. So now I'm taking both wires. I've just crossed. Both wires go through the bead. And then get it all the way down. And then cross your wires. And then we're going to go around the butt a few times. And I think your pliers are a big help with this, just to get it. Sometimes it gets stuck right on the corners where the legs are, especially if you've added a little glue, which I did, to solidify the legs. So pull it tight, but make sure your bead is where you want it. So see how it's all on the side there? I'm going to correct that. I'm going to hold it in place with my thumb and then pull the wire. So the wire I am pulling really tight, but I've held this in place. So now we've got them right where we want them, just covering up where the wires were. And now we just wrap around a few times. So this goes around this way, this goes around this way. And I said it would be too much wire, but I mean, look at it, we're using most of it. But you can see now how I'm gonna cut off excess, but if I had much less wire than that, I wouldn't be able to get it around. So then one more time around, one more time around. And then used to, I'd go in and twist these a little bit, but it's really hard to do. And I'm not certain it was actually helping anything. So now I just cut it as close as I can. And then I just smash each one. Sometimes it's easier if you have pliers that are more, if you have little narrow pliers like this, I find them better. Also, if you don't shake profusely, I bet you it's a little bit easier. But that's not a luxury I've got. So I'm just trying to cross it over and then take my pliers and just smash those wires right up against the body. Make sure they're not poking out on the other side. And then do a once over and make sure you like where the bead is placed on each side. It's a little to the side on this one. So let's just, there we go. So now we've got a nice little covering for where our wires are crossed in the middle. So I think that's fun and it's super duper easy, which is always nice. So there you go. That's a little tip and trick.